hear a little bit of Ajay Atui, the soundtrack from the film Fandry. We have in our studio the director and the producer of the film Fandry. We have Nagraj, Manjule, who was actually born in a nomadic tribal caste and being the first to acquire an education. And because he has experienced the caste phenomenon, his film on the Dalit caste of India, I'm looking forward to seeing this evening at 7 o'clock. And Tej will give us some more details about that. But I'd like to welcome you to our studio to Southern California. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Didon.
Okay, and we would like first to get a summary of the film. And go ahead and give it to us.
Yeah, I'm the director of this film. And this is my first feature film, debut film. It's about a boy, Jabya, a Dalit boy, and his family struggle against daily prejudice in their Maharashtra village. Being labeled untouchable does not stop Jabya from dreaming beyond his caste, buying a pair of jeans and logging off their affections of Shalu, an upper caste classmate. Meanwhile, Jabya's parents focus all their resources on paying on their daughter's dowry and worry their son's continuing defending is jeoparding the family's well-being. What begins is as a carefree look at a child's desire and antics transforms into the insightful and damning look at caste discrimination, refusing to reduce its Dalit characters to victims. Most explicitly at the film's explosive conclusion, Fandry builds from a murmur to a defense roar.
Well, thank you. Freedom Now, we've been covering the situation of caste in India going back into the early 80s. Just came back from a trip to India working with the Kerala Dalit Panther, Abu Jackson, and we've had people like Dr. Renuka Rashidi, Dr. Rashidir, and Bekarist, who addressed this question. And this film, of course, when I saw the schedule of films being shown, this together with Siddhartha, which I found very good, a must-see film. So I'd like to also have Brother Vivek maybe talk about, he's the producer, financer.
Hi everyone.
Great.
Didon and Tej to have us here.
Yeah, why is this film, why did you get involved with this project?
Well, Fandry was something like you cannot not make it. Like you have to bring it out to the world about what is happening and you need to stop this. So it's it's like kind of an awakening that people need to subject themselves to. So and Fandry is like, it's a beautiful film. Now as a film, it's immensely beautiful. So, and when me and Nagraj sir, we met, the very first day we just finalized it and we started shooting for the film in like 15 days. And so we couldn't stop ourselves from making Fandry.
Mm-hmm. For our listening audience, the popular image of India is one of a very highly advanced, developing society with the largest rising middle class in the world, together with China probably. And we tend to see India in terms of more of an Aryan phenomenon, in terms of the Brahmin or upper caste phenomenon. Much of the situation of the lower caste and those outside of the caste system, such as the Dalit or what's sometimes called the Black Untouchables, we never hear about. Most of the Bollywood films we see tend to reflect more the kind of middle upper class, and or even in the rural settings tend to be more upper caste. So I think that for me, this film could be a continued education for me about 300 million people who are part of this caste system. And what has been the response in India?
Well, it's been amazingly received well by the audience. As now, when we come to terms of critical acclaim, it has won most of the brilliant awards in India in all the festivals. Mm-hmm. It has been a part of the most prestigious festivals of India. And now when I come to the reception of Fandry by the audience, it was released on 14th Feb in India, and it's still continuing in the theaters in the 9th week.
Oh, really?
So we've achieved like a kind of quite a lot of in terms of box office as well, so which shows that people are very acceptable to this, and the reception has been very powerful. So,
will this film be an agent of social change in India?
It could be. We as an Indian, we deny that there is a caste system and discrimination exists in India, but Fandry tells that it exists, and very much it's in a Indian rural and urban area still exist.
Mm-hmm.
And the film raises the question about that. And I am very glad that people receiving this film in accepting the film. And I am glad now people are talking about the caste and the discrimination.
What has been your experience as being part of the nomadic caste?
Sorry?
Your experience?
Yeah. My father is a stone breaker. Like they used to break a stone, and they are like they are working class. And I am the first one to get education.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm experienced throughout my life. And I'm very as you said this, just that Bollywood films never tell these kind of stories. They only glamorize the things. And I, as a child watching this film, I never seen the reflection of my life in this Bollywood film. So I desperately wanted to say my stories, or my own people's stories, and I want to be in a film like hero is never in a Bollywood film like a black hero.
Mm-hmm.
He must be a fair, good looking, handsome. But if you are in black, then he is a villain.
Mm-hmm.
The names of like my name Nagraj, it could be name only of the villain.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very sad about these things, and when I got a chance to make a film, I have to tell my own story, and Fandry is my own story.
I'm so proud of you and honored to be in your presence, to take the initiative and not become like a Uncle Tom or turn your back on the struggles of your people and try to duplicate Bollywood dominant thematic films and produce a film that reflects the reality of a large segment of the Indian population.
Yeah.
Though highly educated, many would argue that Hinduism as a religion is structured to promote casteism with the Varna and this whole phenomenon. But as oppressed people throughout the world, especially with the decolonization movement that's occurred throughout Africa, Asia, Latin America, and derives a more social consciousness, we've seen that these old, many times colonial, whether it's British colonialism or Aryans coming across the Caucasus Mountain to destroy the Dravidian culture and colonize the people, we've seen the rise of a new consciousness. And I'm so glad that the films in India now, especially people like you, are creating these kind of new dynamic films that tell the story of the masses of people of India whose story has never been told. What do you plan to do in the future? Your next film?
Yeah, I just completed my script,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to tell my stories,
Mm-hmm.
the stories of my films, my peoples,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not. It's like anti-reaction of Bollywood film, as I eagerly wanted to tell the stories of. There are so many stories of Dalit, or we say Bahujans, like margin.
Untouchables, or like
The-
the backward class.
Yeah, and my next film is about them. So yeah, it's just completed script, and I'll be shooting probably in November.
Mm-hmm.
This
Mm-hmm.
November.
In terms of the financing of this film and the production,
Yeah.
what kind of issues did you face? Because one of the problems we face is American Indians, Native people here whose stories are never told, as Chicano, Indigenous, Latinos whose stories are never told, and as black people, Africans in America whose stories are never told. Is always financing, distribution. How did you address that? You're the producer, you're the financer.
Well, for Fandry, what happens in India is generally the producer himself arranges for the finance. So we don't have this concept of getting too many producers on board or having an investor as such. So the producer is the financer for the film generally. So here it is me and my partner Mr. Nilesh, who's not here.
Mm-hmm.
So both of us put in our money to make Fandry because, because like I said, it could have been a revolution to bring that awakening or a social message amongst people.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fandry was never a very commercial film, like right from the start. Like we knew that it is not a Bollywood masala film, but it had its own way. So, and we had to make Fandry. So we put in our money and took this risk of making Fandry.
You put your money where your mouth is. That's very revolutionary because we have a a small but very financial, strong black upper class here, but they never finance independent films. They never finance, films or businesses or culture or music from the grassroots, from the majority of the population of our people here in the United States and in Africa. So to find someone like you that is supporting the people, the masses, the Dalits, the untouchables, the lower castes of India, and put your dollars where your mouth is, I have to salute you very much for doing that.
Thank you
because,
so much. No, the thing is that if you have a Bollywood film and you go out to the market with the script, and you say that you have this star and you have a masala Bollywood film, there are hundreds of financiers ready to put in the money in such films. But when you're making Fandry, so everyone is quiet and just watching you make Fandry. And how do you do ahead? Like, how do you go ahead with Fandry? But there's been one good, what do I say? One good progression is that the entire industry has loved Fandry. The entire Bollywood has supported it, and they are now they are raising the issue themselves and giving importance to such films all of a sudden. So the last 2 years, so which is good. At least if it didn't happen with Fandry, I'm very sure that at least 10 more films like Fandry would come up and on different subjects or on the same subject and try and educate people on this.
But, if you got 300 million Dalits and include another 300-400 million lower caste, that's over 600-700 million. That's one hell of a market. And caste chauvinism, theological chauvinism, maybe pushed aside in the quest for profits by Bollywood because they see they can make a whole lot of money because we like to see ourselves in films. And I'm sure, especially in India, the Dalit must love this film.
Yeah,
I can imagine. Yeah. Well, we got to wrap up. But Tej, can you tell us the details for those in the listening audience who wants to see the film this evening?
Okay, the film is called Fandry. It's at the Indian Film Festival, Los Angeles, happening tonight at the Archlight Theaters in Hollywood at 6360 West Sunset Boulevard. The films showing tonight are Fandry at 7 p.m., Brahmin Bulls at 9:15 p.m., and Monsoon Shootout at 10 p.m. And you can go to indianfilmfestival.org to see the entire schedule.
I'd recommend strongly. The other two films I haven't seen, I'm not really into. I've been to the film festival a number of years. I don't go see the Bollywood films. I go see the films about the Dalits. I go to see films that deal with people in villages struggling for survival against urbanization. These kind of type of films, But once again, when we think about India, don't think about them. Think about we're all human beings. Number one. And especially in India, the largest population of black people, and that's my brothers and sisters as a Pan-Africanist and as an internationalist, my brothers and sisters. And Dr. Ambedkar, J. Bin, the Godfather, taught us the importance of rising up and fighting caste discrimination. So we'd like to thank you very much. And anything we can do to help you with your future film, let me know. Because I'm a wannabe filmmaker, but I do shoot a lot of things. And I actually shot 17 hours when I was in India, the southern part of India. So whatever we can do to help, let us know.
Yeah, sure.
We thank you very much.
We welcome you to India soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. All right.